Our daily check of what's on the docket from Fox News is Lise Whiel. And since all the nudie pictures are in the news of late, Lise, let's start off with that. In the event that there's a nudie picture of, let's say, somebody's picture makes it out there and it got stolen, can that person sue a website that publishes that picture, despite the fact that it's been repeated and copy-pasted 1,000 times by other websites?
Yeah, it's very hard to sue the website the way that the law is written right now. It's much easier to sue the actual hacker. In this case, we don't know, with the celebs, we don't know who the hackers are. Once the FBI determines that, then you can go after the hacker, because that's a classic infringement of privacy. You're taking a picture that's meant to be private and you're putting it out there without their consent, and hopefully, if you're the plaintiff, they made money off of you or you lost money, that kind of thing. I mean, there's a guy in prison right now for 10 years doing pretty much the same thing. A guy in Florida hacked about 50 celebrity sites and was able to, that was caught and put in prison. But you're asking about the server. Now, that's much more difficult because the law so far, and this is an area really where I think the law has not kept up with technology, but the law so far has really coddled these servers by saying, you're just serving up the content that other people are providing. So the law goes after the content, the actual people that provide the content versus just the server. And, when you sign up on all these different programs, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but do you read this fine print? I mean, pretty much you waive away a lot of your rights to go after the big corporations.
You also waive a lot of your privacy rights, though, too, Lisa. And just referencing an earlier comment you made there is that, for people who take nudie pictures of themselves and post it, there is no expectation of privacy anymore.
Yeah, except, what they would argue is these pictures that they took were only meant for, and I'm not saying this will be work, but only meant for one individual, that boyfriend or the husband or whatever. That actually has started up a whole new area of the law, which is called revenge porn. Have you guys heard about this?
Yes.
Yes. So, the guy gets, it's usually typically the guy, but it can be the other way. Guy gets a picture of his girlfriend, and then they have a huge breakup, and then he posts that on the internet, and she's,
Hence the
that
name.
was,
That
was revenge porn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actionable as well. But still, going after these servers.
Actionable against the individual who owned the picture and served it up on cyberspace, or actionable against the company, this revenge porn company that put that stuff up there?
But, mostly the individual, because my point is the companies so far are pretty well immunized in the law, because they're not the ones that are actually coming up with the content and putting the stuff out.
Really, as despicable as they are, they get off scot-free.
Pretty much. I would argue that they shouldn't, in the sense that if you know that what you're putting out there has been illegally obtained, aren't you complicit, an accomplice, a necessary accomplice, in fact, in committing a crime? That's certainly what I would argue, but that's not where the law stands now. So they're fairly immunized. These companies are fairly immunized until the law keeps up with the technology. And here's kind of proof in the pudding that they know what they're doing. Twitter, apparently, when it found out about these retweets that were going, they shut down the retweeters account. Is that the proper way of saying it?
Yeah.
They shut down the retweeters account.
That is very interesting.
Okay.
Right? Where do we draw the line on censorship?
Exactly. Well, doesn't that tell you, too, that they knew, they knew at the company level that what was going out there was illegally obtained. And that's not censorship if it's illegally obtained. Now, on the other hand, though, you could make it an analogy. What happened with these horrible, the beheadings?
Yeah.
Come on, we're putting that out there. It's just a difference in the law between something that is meant to be completely private and between two
But
people.
should Twitter and Facebook be the arbiters of what we
who's to say?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the law at this point says no. That, they're just serving up, again, they're not providing the content. They're just serving up what is produced or what is given to them. They're not part of the whole.
And where do search engines fall in this thing, like Yahoo and Bing and Google, and they're a pool of all this information.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Where do they fall in this thing?
They're protected as well. By at least now, I think you're going to see more and more lawsuits because when these celebrities, I mean, what was it? Jennifer Lawrence was going out yesterday. Her people were saying, "Oh, we're going to sue everybody and do this." Well, if they don't know who the hacker is, what do they mean? They're going to go after the servers. They're going to go after the retweeters. Is that again proper English? I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
sure.
I hear you.
Can
Okay.
the FBI ferret out who the
yeah,
hacker
so
is,
who
though?
are they going to go after? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the question.
But can the FBI ferret out the hacker?
that's
Can they
what they're
find
looking-
out?
Yeah.
Well, what the FBI can do very simply is the FBI can go to the companies and say, with a subpoena power, say, you bubbas, you let us know. You can figure this out. I mean, you're not like the IRS and losing emails. You guys can actually figure this out. You're smarter, than the IRS. You can figure this out, and you can tell us where the hacking is starting from, and then we can pick it up from there and get these guys. No problem, and they can be forced to do that. But whether they are actually on the line for liability, that's a much different call to make.
Lise, thanks for your insight. From Fox News, legal analyst Lise Whiel joining us on 710 KURV.